Get out the insurance cards, get out the co-pays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
So let's get to it.
Bring the pain!
What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you in Dr. Roto this week. Ooh, yeah. I thought I would just begin this podcast with some eyeglasses. Some eyeglasses. We're trying to see things here in the NFL, right? As you can see, this is an emergency podcast, but instead of doing the hard hits review, I've been keeping tomorrow open for maybe another interview with a good friend. Maybe not, but I did want to definitely get to the hard hits review because I ain't done it for a couple weeks. I've done a subscriber spotlight. So I've had Jay Ropes on. Then last week I had Tips. Next week, I'm going to have Ninja Posse, who actually won the first leg of the Dr. Roto Chopped League. So he got a shirt. Talked to him. Got that new shirt. I got that logo right there on a shirt. You get over to Bring the Pain at tpublic.com and buy you a shirt today while it is on sale, because right now this is going to be where we're at. This is one of the baddest podcasts. I want to give a shout out to everybody listening in the Philippines. Thank you for putting me in the top 30 of your sports podcast. That's really cool. But hey, man, we're here to talk what is a catch in the NFL. Sean McDermott is just fired. Now, we saw this coming for a long time because every time Sean McDermott got lost, that dude looked like he was a crying little bitch. But at the same time, he's got a big reason to be crying. Gripes. Okay, you got the NFL overtime rules changed. Okay, we got it. Moved on. It still backfired on you. It helped you in some ways. But now we have this catch. And of course, everybody's going to pile in here, maybe say their words or maybe not say this word. But this goes back to the Fail Mary between the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers, another pivotal game, right? And of course, we see the Packer receiver overextend over Tate, catch the ball only to fall down and be behind him, Tate behind him with his hands on the ball, and that's a catch. So in the Cooks catch, he's got it cradled, and the other guy's got it like this. That brings it back to the catch rule, right? Yes, or maybe not. So what was funny was, and of course my team benefited from this, if there was any benefit at all, but I got something coming for you on that. The NFL thought that this would go away, and it did not. And this is good. This is what got Sean McDermott fired. Now, if Sean goes on, wins the next match, Josh Allen, that is, and the Buffalo Bills, go on and go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, Dermott doesn't get fired, right? We can all agree with that. Dermott does not get fired. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying he's not wasting talent right now. I'm not saying that there shouldn't have been more emphasis on bringing in a receiver, hence what happened in Pittsburgh as well, too. But if you're going to put the soapbox for these teams and you're going to do that, then you have to be liable. And you had a good team. You've had semi-good teams. You did have Diggs on that team not too long ago, right? And it hasn't worked out. Now, fast forward to what the Rams did yesterday. Now, the football move, if you look closely, Devontae Adams does pick his foot back up and then go back down. He goes down to a knee. What makes this is more unique is that they rule this possession and he's down. But on the play before the snap, the Bears are clearly offsides. Go check the note. And not only did the player come offsides, he looked back to the ref thinking they were going to blow the play dead, or it should have been a free play anyway. But regardless, it worked out for the Rams. Horns up, Rams Nation. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Just like I said, 3 out of 4 of the teams are there that I said would be. You're going to have the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots, but that got killed. So we got the Broncos without Bo Nix. I got a big conspiracy about this Patriot crap, right? And you call me crazy, but all of y'all called me crazy a long time ago. Well, I called my friend crazy, and then I watched my Rams lose that Super Bowl. And if the Rams are going to go lose to the Patriots, why not just serve the Seahawks up to the Patriots? Because y'all can see what's really going on. If you're any kind of smart, like, right? Because we know that this is hand picked for him. Stidham isn't gonna go in there and do what everybody thinks he's gonna do. Like, come on, man. Like, he's not the Bo Nix. Bo Nix was player, man. That dude is balling. But here we go. Now we have a backup quarterback situation. Well, that being said, regardless, I feel that the Super Bowl winner is going to be in the NFC anyway. So Seattle or the Rams should be able to handle either one of these teams in a close, strong game, right? That's what we think. But then there's what happens. So now we have the Davante Adams catch, which was then said a fumble. Interception should have never been part of the discussion. But now we have it down. So let's rewind. Chris Collinsworth said that a lot of people in Buffalo would be angry about that call. Now we're back to the Cooks. He is going down. He has the ball cradled. The other guy is grabbing at the ball to knock it out practically. Knee is on the ground. They do the roll. Now they're saying that this is supposed to be a catch, right? This is supposed to be continuation of the catch. This is what they're looking for. Yet we didn't have that with Davante Adams. If we go back a few weeks ago, when the Rams, Puka Nacua, practically caught that ball going out of bounds, the guy knocks it out, right? But that's a catch. If the guy whiffs, that's a catch, right? So we're going to say that all these, and then Davante Adams yesterday had a sideline catch where he dragged his toe and it came up, but this drag mark was right there. And a lot of people were like, that's not a catch, right? But he literally, how many times in the NFL do we see tiptoe catch out, right? And we see the ball kind of bobble and they go, oh, well, he continued it through. But there's a lot of times that they just catch, they're out, they step, and that's it, right? So Brandon Cooks is down. They do a rollover, and of course the defensive back is going to be stronger than Brandon Cooks. He's a little shit, and I mean he's a great player, love him, but he's just a small man. And he pulls the ball out, right? So now we have the ball out. Now we have an interception. So here's the thing with the NFL. Going back to the Hail Mary, even going back to Dez Bryant's catch, that was huge. What up, MB? That was huge back then. I still feel that the Dez Bryant was a catch. I thought it was 100%. But I'm wrong, and I'm not an NFL official. I feel if the guys officiating yesterday would have been in that game, that would have been considered a catch for the Buffalo Bills, and that would be Bills in the Super Bowl. So this is live. What's the best team this season? Well, there's really no overall best team, but I would say the most complete team is the Seattle Seahawks. The Rams do have flaws, and honestly, the Rams create a lot of flaws themselves, and sometimes Sean McVay does out-coach himself. That's a problem. Sometimes we don't have the best on-it game, kind of like when the Rams played the Patriots in the Super Bowl, how kind of like the Patriots defense stymied Kurt Warner. Well, that's kind of what we have. The New England Patriots have a great team, but the Patriots themselves, if the Patriots play the Seattle Seahawks should win that Super Bowl. And the Rams can definitely move the ball on this Patriots defense. They're not, so the Rams can put up a lot of interceptions. Stafford gets a little wingy, but he's at some point, and McVay at some point is going to pull it back and not continue to make the same mistakes that CJ Stroud was doing. And even when you go back to a previous week against Pittsburgh, CJ Stroud was fumbling a lot of shotgun snaps. There was problems there. And when your quarterback's fumbling that much, creating interceptions, bad things are following you. The last guy that happened to was Jameis Winston. And we all know where he's at. But at the same time, I do like the Pats against the Broncos, because the Broncos, I don't feel that Stidham is going to be able to come in and be able to figure out that defense fast enough with just getting 1 week of reps, right? So, of course, that's what everybody else is going to say. But for me, that's what I think is the big key right now, what is going on. But the idea that we're in this situation, the fact is I could have been 4-0. as an expert, I'm giving out all these lines. I'm giving out catches, and these catches go against, they lose people money. And so the NFL would rather keep that black eye with their sport. They would rather lose fans because they think that they have enough fans globally now to get rid of the people that actually see some of the bullshit that happens in some of their games with some of the refs. And I'm not asking anybody to be perfect, but sometimes with this games, and everybody is saying it and going back, and McDermott continuously said it while he was crying. That's why you got fired, dude, because you were crying. You cried way too much. You could only cry wolf for so long before you get your ass bucked out the stadium, and that's what happened. Oh, you know how the Bills do it. They out now, son. So that's the thing that really gets me about that call. But regardless, we're trying to give out the best things. Mind you, how many injuries happened this weekend? It was kind of a shit show in DFS, and I wouldn't say so much in betting. Betting, if you played it safe on a lot of stuff, played a lot of twos or unders, you might have got some stuff. Of course, that Bills game starting out the weekend was that. But it's funny how the first game of the weekend and the last game of the weekend have a controversial catch. And the fact that the NFL thought it was going to go away and had it come back and bite them in the ass one day later only shows that there's so many cameras on these angles that these plays need to be looked at. Sean was right. That play should have been looked at way deeper. There should have been something, because if we go back to the Hail Mary, that is over. That the two refs making that a touchdown or an interception incomplete. That's the problem. We couldn't even get them to agree on that. And that's in game time, in a big game. And now we have this other big game that just got a man fired. Literally got a man fired. Now, McDermott can go anywhere right now and practically be like, hey, resume speaks for itself. Got a winning thing. But I don't know, man. He's been emotionally beat over the last couple of years, and I could see him actually taking a year out. When I saw Josh Allen on the sideline, I thought he was going to demand to be traded. I really thought he was going to demand to be traded. So this show is live, so there is some questions coming in. So let's go. Back when Tom Brady was actually still playing and used to try, when he left, this game went to crap. For Vikings fans, he was the only reason I kept watching. So that is a big thing when you get it's like NBA right now. People are more concerned about just watching players rather than watching the teams anymore. And honestly, with the way it's handled with the game time decisions and the load management, it's almost made it unbearable to watch. That's for me. I'm a huge Lakers fan. I don't watch basketball anymore because to me, if you're not going to put your best product out there, that would be like, Bo Nix going out there 3 weeks ago going, I feel like taking this game off. We might need Jared Stidham in here in a few weeks. Why don't we let Jared Stidham take this game? Nah, that don't happen in the NFL. And I get that you're playing all these games, and I get the stuff with baseball as well too. I'm not going to go against that. If you are sore as an athlete, I would rather you say I'm going to be out, but let's be informed about it as soon as possible, right? When I know that I'm going into a fight myself and I don't feel 100%, I might sit that day out, and I've got no problems doing that. But I have that decision next week. There's a tournament, but unfortunately, I have to have some medical stuff done that could take me out for a few months. However, I did win last year, and I got some free points right now. So while everybody gets those points and catches up or tries to catch up, I just need to have a strong end of the season, which I will, and I'll win my back-to-back MA Tour champion, grand champion fighting, right? But that's the dedication you have to have for your sport. We're in this position because the NFL and people are losing their jobs over, is the glass half empty or is it half full? Ask a lot of yourself that question right there. Was this a catch on Saturday or was this a catch on Sunday? Sunday, I feel, because he lifted his foot up, it was. I don't think there was enough evidence to really say what happened on Saturday. So for me, I honestly think it should be a do-over. If the refs can't figure this out and you go that fast and you got the Broncos trying to run out there and go fast, right? Pull that back in, right? No, We're not going until we get this right. Why is the NFL, why are we trying? I mean, the teams are going to be like, just run out there, do it real fast. Just run out there, don't care. Just go, 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 right? But as an organization, the NFL or somebody around should say, we need to look at this play. It's not that they care about their credibility, because they're going to have their fan base no matter what. I'm still going to watch the NFL next week, right? And the week after and the year after. But there's a lot of people that will tap out. Again, just like the knee said in this kind of thing, he was only watching for Tom Brady. He hasn't found another player that he really wanted to follow as a Vikings fan. So for me, that's a message to the NFL. That's something that says, hey, we shouldn't be doing this, or hey, we should have talked about this. But like I said, Sean McDermott kind of put himself in that bed anyway. You got yourself fired, and you should have held your composure. You know, I will say in some ways you did call out the NFL, and for you as a head coach, that's different other than for me as a podcaster or a newscaster or whatever you may call me, or a crazy man or a brain brigger. But at the same time, it's not wrong to ask what the hell is a fucking catch, right? Like, I'm mad about that, because as an expert, I want to believe behind my product 100%. This product that the NFL is putting out 100%, but we can't trust. We can't trust because this ref sees it half empty. This ref sees it half full. That's not consistent. That's not consistent. And the fact that the sports sites have to answer to that and don't give a shit is problematic as well too. People are putting money up on these plays. Now, that's all for us degenerates. You could say, well, that is all of your problem. Yeah, that is our problem. But it's a problem because of what's happening with the officiating at times in the NFL. Last weekend wasn't so bad, but in a weekend with a lot of injuries, you're going to throw out some crap like that and get this dude fired? Whatever. That's cool. I said it like 5 times already. And I'm not going to say it again. I just think it's shady. I just think at times that people can see why, or everybody should see why people think the NFL is scripted at times. Look at the Patriots. This world wants to sit here and just fall apart, right? We got to fall apart. And guess what? Guess what the NFL loves to do when the world is falling apart? They love to rub the New England Patriots right in your face. I ain't even got to go back to 3 letters, 3 numbers. Just go back to when the Patriots beat the Rams. My friend made a call on that day after Bledsoe went down. He said, and I know that my boy Nee is going to, because I'm about to talk about Tom Brady, that the Patriots will win the Super Bowl. They will beat the Rams. The build-up to that Super Bowl was the Rams were a surprise attack team. They practically painted us as the enemy, and the Patriots were the heroes. The Seattle Seahawks and the Los Angeles Rams are villains. And I'm fine with that. The NFC West is a bunch of villains over there, right? We're villains. We're ready to smash mouth and beat you down. But if the Patriots win the Super Bowl, just remember this. Just remember that's how the world will heal, because the New England Patriots will be the Super Bowl champions. Have a great day, everybody, and always remember!
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. Until the next visit, be well and take care.